Sean.
Good now, everybody, and welcome back, William, to the Rise Up Morning Show. It's your place for helpful news, commentary, and, of course, answers to your crypto questions. We're so glad you're here this Monday.
The Rise Up Morning Show. It's always nice.
It's always nice to have you, man. Thanks for coming back.
You're welcome. I'm glad I came back.
So how was
I'm glad I'm alive.
I hadn't thought about it that way, but honestly, me too, dude. Me too.
Yeah, there was the volcano erupted, I was in a helicopter,
There was pickled shark that you did not eat, right?
Did not eat because it's mattress soaked in ammonia.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it tastes like.
Just makes
and I was not about that.
Yeah, I've heard it described lots of different ways, never once as an edible item.
Well, it is
like
edible.
Old socks that were like festering in a dead possum's mouth, things like that.
Yeah, what I will say is the native Icelandic cuisine is terrible. However, the food in Iceland wasn't bad because once you leave Reykjavik, every restaurant you go to has the same 6 things: chicken wings, St. Louis style barbecue ribs, lamb chop and lamb soup, so some form of lamb in one of 2 ways, fish and chips. I'm having a brain fart on the other things. What were the other 2 items?
It's got to be a hamburger.
I forget what. Oh yeah, right. Cheeseburger and pizza. That was it.
Oh.
Every single restaurant had only 6 items. Every single one, no matter what town you went into, and no one had a vegetable. There were no
I don't know, kind of bullish on the limited menu there. That's pretty good. St. Louis style ribs are my favorite.
Doesn't sound very vegan friendly.
I mean, it's Iceland.
Oh,
You're not
gonna
make it.
I'll just eat the snow.
Yeah, you wouldn't survive. You'd be eating a lot of French fries if you left Reykjavik.
What was the coolest part, dude? Like, if you had to pick one thing or place or
my favorite singular Icelandic experience was snorkeling between the 2 tectonic plates of Eurasia and North America. And you're in 2 degrees Celsius water, which is 37 degrees Fahrenheit. And so you're in a dry suit, and it's the second clearest water in the world.
Wow.
And you just get to go and you get to chill, hang out, do that, get hot cocoa at the end. So that was like the most unique experience. And then I've been in helicopters before, but it was dope to be in the helicopter right above the lava field a day and a half before it erupted. So like we were right over the volcano before it erupted.
That's cool.
And then we got to like fly over it, like fly the Concords, like just above the lava field and like fly off. And I got that sick video that I shared in the Discord.
You said
that was
second.
Cool.
Second clearest. Do you know what the first clearest is?
I don't. I didn't look it up. Sorry.
Interesting.
Sorry. But and then also we hiked a glacier and went through an ice cave, and that was cool. And then just hanging out with my boys on a boys trip was dope. Yeah, it was great. And then I got to hang out with a bunch of Icelandic people who are very similar to Bostonians. They are loud, they dress poorly, and they like to drink.
Hey, man. Sign me up.
Yeah, I liked them. They were fun and silly.
Well, that's great. We're so glad to have you back, man. And if you want to catch up on some of William's stuff, he took some behind the scenes footage for us. It was lovely. The volcano, honestly, was my favorite part. And it's in the Discord server, which is discord.gg/riseup. It'll be on the bottom of your screen if you're here on YouTube. If you're on TikTok, sorry, I have to update my fun box. My notice board went away for good. So for now, just write that down, get a pen, get a paper, prick your finger, and, write it that way. Discord.gg/riseup, a community of learners at all levels of experience. Totally free. The only thing missing is you, because now we have pictures of Iceland. So if you're not there, really, what are you doing?
There it is. I like Cody. So you met my family. Loud. Loud. Likes to drink, dresses poorly. So you met my family.
So in honor of Will being back today, I am barely going to be here at all because I have to take my kid to the doctor.
Ooh, I also have to leave at the top of the hour. I'm sorry, everybody, but I have to dig myself out of email hell. Yeah.
That
Will,
means
I found the
you're
easiest way
hanging
to
out
do
with
that.
adults for a while, and then you're going to be with me.
Well,
I can't
found
believe we had that.
The best answer for that is just to delete it. You can actually select unread and then delete.
No, see, these emails make me multiple tens of thousands of dollars, so I can't do that.
In that case,
These
send
emails
them to
fund his
me.
trips.
No,
I'll take care of it.
No,
I got you. I got you. I could do it. No training. No. Send me the brochure, and I got you.
Bearish.
Okay, wait.
Well, Alex,
before-
since you got to run first, what do you? Yeah, take us.
Well, Evan. So speaking of travel,
Oh,
I'm drinking out of a special celebratory mug today. It's my Prague mug.
Oh, I'm so sad I can't go.
Yeah, because in
Can't go.
a surprise to everyone, Evan and I are going to be attending Emergence this year. It's the first time they've hosted this conference. So it's its debut. It's in Prague in about a week. Actually, 1 week from today, Evan and I will be flying all day.
Yeah, I'm checking my imaginary watch.
So
We're going to Prague.
Pretty excited about that.
We have a good friend who works at Stellar,
Wow.
and I will
Stellar.
say the show is not formally sponsored by Stellar, but I said to Alex in the chat over the weekend, I would, we got to give him some positive airtime for this, and hopefully
We will.
We will, and we'll be broadcasting. We hope once we find a good, stable location and schedule, to you from there to see. I mean, who was it, Alex, that you saw? You said Anatoly, but I saw Justin Sun's going to be there. The head of policy for A16Z is going to be there. It's like a stacked conference. And I'm sorry you can't come.
What was A16Z again?
What was it's the
Andreesen Horowitz.
Andreesen Horowitz
Oh,
is like the leading.
That's right.
VCs in our space.
Yeah.
Kai
That'd be
says
dope.
they have
I'm sad I
family in
can't go.
Prague. Me too.
Yeah, Prague is dope. I
Very
went to
excited.
Prague 8 years ago. Gorgeous city. The people are
It's the
sad,
bucket
but
list
they're
city.
sarcastic, and I enjoyed them.
I was just looking at videos of it.
Sad people.
They are sad people.
Well,
They
Prague
look-
is
it
also
looks
not a great test because Prague is very tourist heavy. So all of the Czechs that are in Prague are just
Mhm.
inundated with tourism.
Yeah, you guys are gonna love the strip clubs. Actually, funny. The first strip club experience I ever went to was in Prague.
Hey,
Yeah.
there you
I was thinking more
That-
like the library, but
Well, the library is also a strip club.
Well, I'm excited for a couple reasons. Obviously, to go to the conference and all that good stuff. We're going to a special event on the 4th, which is Wednesday. That's
right.
hosted by Stellar. It's like their marketing intensive, so I think we're going to do some stuff there with them. And then my uncle, his office is in Prague, and my aunt and uncle are both going to be in the city when we're there. And then my cousin, who is currently living in Vienna, I think is going to drive over because it's only a few hours away. So I'm pretty stoked. I'm gonna get to see a bunch of family that I haven't seen in a very long time.
And I'm sad. If anything, I'm most sad because now I won't be able to embarrass you in front of your family, who you haven't seen in a long time. That's the biggest missed opportunity here.
I'll take up for you, Will. Don't worry. I was like,
I'll
this
introduce
is
them to. This is my.
I'll
pumpkin
just like
spice
say
pirate.
hi, but I'll be like selfieing a video and be like, "It's nice to meet you," and just as I'm doing like a TikTok dance. That'll be great.
Yeah, I think it'll be really fun, and hopefully, a great opportunity for the show to get in front of many more people who work in our space. It's really cool. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a long week, and we're going to figure everything out so that we can, if not broadcast every day for the morning show, then certainly we will be available with anybody we can bring with us to make your time while we're there just as valuable. And when we get back, hopefully maybe we'll have some more sponsorships, partnerships, guests to talk about. I'm really
crossed.
excited about that. Bullish
Yeah,
on that.
because one of the people who are speaking is the CMO for Binance, and one of the things I wanted to cover really
Find
quickly
them.
before I bounce is I sent this to Will and Evan yesterday, but Crypto.com posted an ad on TikTok, and
That
now
was so bad.
it was weird because this was not I'll put it in the general chat because you guys all deserve to see this, but strap in because it's probably the worst commercial I've ever seen in my life. I'm not being
No,
sarcastic at all.
it is one of, if not the worst commercial you'll ever see in your life.
Yeah, it's completely awful. And it's so weird, like coming from a company like Crypto.com, someone who is the headline sponsor for the UFC.
Has so much money.
Have they
Yeah,
purchased
they're rich.
a sports stadium? Because I feel like they have.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
have.
the Crypto.com arena.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, this is a company that is used to spending gajillion dollars a year on marketing. And this literally looks like something that a 10-year-old who just learned like 14 different AI tools, put all of them into the same video and wrote a script with ChatGPT and just cranked it out. The sound effects are like really loud and you guys will see it. It's awful.
And Alex, did you see they had like 3 or 4 more?
Oh, no.
They sprayed and prayed, and they're all pretty bad.
God,
and
terrible,
it just makes
dude.
me think, like, what are you spending your money on? Or what do you think of your customer who is on this app?
What
That's
they
what
should
it
be
is.
spending it on is us.
That's
But
what it is.
that's the thing. They think the crypto investors on TikTok aren't worth their time and money.
Yeah, that's literally the only conclusion I could make is like a company that understands marketing, that has this big of a budget and this big of a department that does this on TikTok is just like, there's no one worth talking to on TikTok. I'm like, you guys are so misguided. It's insane.
Yeah.
Which is really
almost
sad.
like TikTok doesn't have twice as many users as Twitter.
Go figure. Yeah. And way more like tapped in and active. I mean, the methods of communication here are so much better than they are anywhere else. I mean, the exposure engine on TikTok, anyone who is in marketing that is sleeping on TikTok at this point is doing their company a disservice and deserves a stern talking to.
Yeah.
A stern talking.
A stern talking to.
That's just Popovic 24/7, just ready to give someone a stern talking to.
Yeah, come here, crypto.com. Sit down. Come here, multi-billion-dollar company. Have a seat.
Oh,
Let me,
Speak
little
to
old
Papa.
TikToker, talk to you.
Yeah, we can't help you now, son. Sorry.
Well, Alex,
you know.
before you go, because I'm not sure how stressed your time is, but I want you to know this because this is a weird week for markets. It's a weird week because if you're not in the US, you might not be aware this Thanksgiving or this Thursday is Thanksgiving. So markets are closed on Thursday and markets on Friday are only partially opened till 1 p.m. We care about that in the crypto space because we care about the ETF products, right? But Wednesday is a big day because we get Q3 GDP numbers for the United States. We get jobless claims data. That is the weekly data. We get PCE inflation data. And the Fed FOMC has like a chatting time also. So Wednesday is a very, very, very big day. It's a very volatile day potentially. So keep your eyes open on it.
Thank you.
Stay open for it.
Good. So I'm excited to have you back, Will, because every time people ask us about the markets, me and Evan start like doing the GIF, the meme from Always Sunny, where he's looking at all like the numbers and just like
Yeah.
On his
that's what I
whiteboard.
feel like. I'm like, okay, I have to lie to the people now and pretend I know what's going on.
Don't worry.
Will,
Well, it's a trap. Yeah.
Tough.
We're here.
All right, 2 seconds. I gotta go wake up the kid, and then I'll be back for a few minutes before we dip out.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Will, have you taken a look at any of the order books lately? Because the story that I've been seeing last night and today in the last couple of days is around $100,000, and specifically, it seems like folks are reporting in our Discord, on Twitter, elsewhere, that they are seeing a lot of sell at 100 or 100 and 105, 101, whatever. Are you surprised by it? Is it about what you expected?
No, I mean it's exactly
not
what I
too
expected.
surprised.
No, because it's the biggest psychological number. So everyone's like, I want to sell at 100,000, and that's just what happens. And we'll get a little bounce off of 100K. I think we fall to 90K, and then we rally upwards, and the ETFs just keep buying like crazy and just punches its way through the barriers at 100K, and then bada boom, bada bing. Once we break above 100K, you'll see 110K like that. It's going to happen fast. 100 to 125,000 is going to happen very quickly. I almost guarantee that. I'd put all my Bitcoin down and says that happens super fast. So this is not surprising. I haven't looked at the order books. When I was in Iceland, the only thing I did is every like 2 days or so, I just looked at what Bitcoin was doing from a TA standpoint. That was about it. Kept it rolling, kept on my vacation mode. But what I'm looking at right now is, of course, we're not going to break $100,000 right now. Falling down to 92K seems super likely to me. But if anyone who says that they're going to fill the gap, there's a gap on the futures chart. There's a gap at $78,000. And I see some people on Twitter being like, we're going to fall and close that gap. And I'm like, no, we fucking aren't. There's no way. Yeah, TA suggests that, yeah, there could be a big correction. We'd fall down to $78,000. But here's the thing. You can't be 100% TA and you can't be 100% macro. You have to find a medium between the two. And as time goes by, you'll figure out which one's leaning more so heavily, like which one's really affecting the market right now. Right now, the macro is affecting the market far more than TA is. So if you're TA, you're looking at it and you're saying, hey, $78,000, look at that gap. That gap's there. Let's fill that gap. You're not paying attention to the macro picture, which is the United States is about to create a Bitcoin strategic reserve. Companies like Microsoft are starting to vote on adding Bitcoin onto their balance sheet. Everyone knows this. Everyone knows they need to front run this because before that happens, or once that happens, I should say, I mean, it's just, you're not going to see cheap Bitcoin for a really, really long time. And the question of what's TA, it stands for technical analysis. It's when I pull up a chart and I start drawing patterns and stuff and I use indicators to help guide my decisions. That's TA, Jason. And right now, if TA tells me it's going to go to 78K or it's going to go to 90K, you don't know what I'm doing. If I really believe 78K is going to happen with a macro picture this bullish, I'm going to go, cool, I think 78K is going to happen based on TA. But I know it's so bullish, I'm going to start buying at 88K. Or if I think, like me personally, I think 90K is going to happen, I'm buying at 94, 95K. You know, I am buying far above what I think is going to happen because the macro is so bullish that it is not going to allow the most bearish scenario for your technical analysis to happen. Whatever you think it's going to fall to from TA right now at this point, cut that in 2/3 and start buying there if you are lucky enough to get it, in my personal
Fact check
opinion.
yourself, brother.
Well,
yeah, hell yeah.
And one of those, one of the options too, if you're just diehard, because I'm one of those people, I have no fucking clue. You cover your base and set a buy order at that bottom target that you're looking at. You think it's going to 77? Put in a limit buy at 77.
Yeah, just do it.
Yeah, and
What's the worst that's going to happen?
If you're with us and you're swimming in the weeds and you're like, whoa, wait a second, limit buys, technical analysis. Thank you, Will, for explaining it. These are things that we can help you get into step by step, one bit at a time. Don't run too fast. Walk to your next destination.
Mm-hmm.
You got plenty of time. I wanted to give a really quick historical perspective.
Yeah.
Do you guys know? Can I ask you? Oh, go ahead, Will. I have a trivia question for you about Bitcoin's growth.
Oh, all I was going to say is if you don't know how to do TA and you're like, well, I don't even know that first step, totally fine. What I'm going to suggest to you,
Me neither.
find the coins that you like, dollar cost average. Dollar cost averaging means, let's say you have $1,000 to invest. Take $100 and buy once every 3 days until those $1,000 are gone. Keep it easy, keep it simple. And the average, buying once every 3 days, you're going to have some buys that are higher, that are lower. But at the end of the day, you're going to average yourself into a nice average price point, and you'll manage your risk better that way. So start there. And then as you do that, take some time to learn about technical analysis if you are so interested.
Yeah, it's like eating in Iceland. Some of the food you like, some of the food you don't like, but you should go around and try everything. At least smell it a little bit to find out what's for you and what's not.
Except for fermented shark.
Except
Don't do that.
Shark.
Bearish unfermented shark.
Yes. But what was the historical example, Evan?
The historical example. Well, Alex, are you still with us? Can I ask you this trivia question, or is it time for your final thought?
4 minutes.
4 minutes. Okay. Let me see if you get this right. Bitcoin has grown a shocking amount. We've gone from $20,000 last year to almost $100,000. But this is not the fastest period of growth by percentage in Bitcoin's history. Do either of you know what year or what previous high, I will also accept that, Bitcoin reached that marked its fastest, most explosive period of growth?
2017.
2017. Alex, what about you?
I'm going to say it's got to be like...
Oh, it's got to be earlier in that percentage-wise, probably 2013.
Yeah, I was going to guess like 2012, 2013. I'll say 2013 to be a contrarian.
Well, and Will, it sounds like you're changing your answer. Your answer is now 2013. Is that your final answer?
Let me just measure this chart real quick.
No, I'm digging you. You guys got it right. You
Yeah,
guys got it right. It's
yeah,
2013.
2013.
For people who are thinking this is nuts,
Hey.
especially if this is your first bull run, check this out. In 2012 to 2013, Bitcoin's price went from like $13 in early 2013 to over $1,000 at a high in November 2013. It did 7,500% growth in that year. In 2017, it did have a pretty big top at 20,000 after a low of around 100,000. But that was the biggest, most explosive period in Bitcoin's history, 7,500%. This is period number 3 in terms of percent at this moment. And we certainly, once you say smash that barrier, could go higher. Who knows where we will land? Could set a new record, but we've been here before is what I hope to illustrate for people who are just coming for the first time.
Mhm.
And if that's you, we're glad you're here. Let us know what questions you have about cryptocurrency if you're skeptical or curious, and we'll try and answer them.
Ooh, I want to add something also. If you guys didn't see my altcoin update, altcoins look like they are about to fly. If you pull up the Bitcoin dominance chart, what I will show is here.
What I will show is here.
What I will show is here.
I'm gonna hop out and follow along. I'll be in the chat on the TikTok.
On
probably
the
whole
TikTok.
time.
Okay.
But I'll be as normal all week except for today. Today's just a little sus. But very excited to have you back, Will. And I don't think I have any fully baked out final thoughts. Although just a cool little tidbit. If there's some demand, just let me know, and I will set it up. I met through my comment section a woman who is an IRS accountant or attorney, tax strategist, all sorts of stuff. I'm trying to encourage her to make some content because she has very helpful information, but she's not much of a content creator. And she was in my comments on my couple tax videos, including the one I posted yesterday, giving me the thumbs up, which I felt very good about. And then just said, if we ever have any questions or need any help, let her know. So I think I would like to try to schedule a time to get her on and get some different perspectives about like tax strategies and stuff. We were talking about tax loss harvesting, wash trading still being legal in crypto, all that sort of stuff. And then sort of just like the strategic timing of, you know, buys and sells and when to schedule your trades and all that kind of stuff if you want to be like tax optimal. So she is an expert. I am not. I just have a lot of experience. So let me know if that would be interesting, and we will get her on the show, because I would love to hear from more actual money professionals just about kind of some of these things. We're starting to get a lot more questions about, you know, income tax versus airdrop tax versus all this other stuff. So I think I'm gonna schedule that. But if you have tax or money specific questions, send them to me in a DM in Discord. Discord is the best, and I'll put a list together. We'll get her on, and we'll just rapid fire a whole ton of tax and money related questions for everybody. So with that,
Sounds good.
I will see you guys in the chat. Sorry to run.
Come
See
for
you,
him.
Bye now.
See you, Alex. Bye for now, man. Will, what are we looking at?
So if you're on TikTok, you can see that I'm pulling up the Bitcoin dominance chart. If you're not, I am sorry. But what we're looking at here is this. First of all, this channel that we have drawn is.
It looks like this, guys. Spoiler alert, if you're on YouTube, it looks like this.
Yeah, you can see how long we've been in this channel, right? And where we are today, as I highlighted while I was in Iceland, when we got up to here, I was like, hey, we could be getting to the point where we could see altcoins start to take some dominance. And what we have right now is we have these 3 red candles. These are, oh God, what's the name? 3 red crows, I think is the name of the signal. So when you have 3 red candles in a row, it signals that there is growing bearish momentum. And afterwards, you can have a green candle or two, but it's a sign that we could be ready to break out of this channel. At the same time, we also have a lower low. So we're lower low here, bearish momentum here. And this is the Bitcoin dominance chart. So what it shows is it doesn't show price point. It shows the percentage of the market that is controlled by Bitcoin. So when this is red, it means that altcoins are going up faster than Bitcoin is, right? It gives us an altcoin season. The other thing I want to show you is on the weekly time frame. What we have here is we can see the MACD is starting to have a bearish crossover, meaning we might get an opportunity where we're going to have a very large macro altcoin season for an extended period of time. What I think is going to happen is we're going to break this bottom line of support. If we do, you're going to see an opportunity for Bitcoin's dominance to fall an additional 3%. That 3% might not sound like a lot to you, but it is multiple billions of dollars going into altcoins. And it's if that bottom line of support in that channel breaks, you're gonna see altcoins do some crazy shit in December and January, maybe even a little bit longer, but December and January. And so that's what we're looking at right now. And yes, we might not break the bottom line of that channel the first go. In fact, I'd be surprised if we break it the first time we touch it, right? It just typically doesn't work like that. But altcoins are looking pretty rice right now. Pretty nice.
Pretty
right
rice,
now.
baby.
Pretty rice, baby. And also Ethereum's chart is showing signs of more and more life too. So, you know, we're seeing
Ethereum's looking hot.
We're getting more and more to that like euphoric stage of the bull market, which could last, historically speaking, has lasted 6 months to potentially a year, you know? So really rice.
How do we chart that, Will, in TradingView? What are the buttons you click to get to a screen that'll let you start drawing on a chart? And then can you draw a smiley face for the vibes?
I can. So first of all, you can go, that site I pulled up is tradingview.com. You can go there. It's the #1 place for technical analysis and chart reading in the world for pretty much any asset. And they list cryptocurrencies pretty quickly. You might not be able to find the youngest ones there. But yeah, go to tradingview.com, pull up the asset you want. If it's Bitcoin, pull up Bitcoin, type in BTC USD. You'll pull up the Bitcoin USD chart. You'll get a bunch of different options. Pull that up. And then there's a ton of tools on the left-hand side of the screen. You'll see indicators there that you can go and play with and research kind of what they all are. My personal favorite to put on the chart are the exponential moving averages, the 12, the 21, the 55, and the 200 for the exponential moving averages, and then the stochastic RSI. Or you can just use the regular RSI. That's fine too. Those are the ones that I start with. Give me. I like them.
Okay, well that works for me. And if you are like, whoa, I didn't write that down, he's got to say it again. I just want to let you know that this recording is going to live on forever on our YouTube page. Everybody on YouTube already knows that at Faceless Labs. You can just search for the Rise Up Morning Show, Faceless Labs. There's a whole playlist with all of our backlog. Every episode is named with the date. So just search for today's date after the show. Or if you'd rather watch us in widescreen, then go over there now and check it out. Put us on your TV. It's a lot of fun. Will, can you remind me? I know eToro is a good one. Does Webull also? Oh my gosh, look at that cute little Treadmo guy. Does Webull also let you do Monopoly money? And which platforms do you like to use to play with trading stuff before you play with real money?
When you say Monopoly money, you mean like a practice trading environment?
Yeah, I mean there are practice simulation environments that people can use to trade and practice buying and selling things like cryptocurrencies. Oh my gosh, Jay, I don't know what that is, man. That's wild.
Just go do
Thank you.
Honestly, I don't know because I've never used a simulator. I've only ever practiced with my real money.
Okay, well, if you want to practice with fake money before you play with your real stuff,
which is a great idea.
It is a great idea. I definitely recommend eToro, that does not sponsor the show. But could. They have a really simple to learn and looks like everybody else's interface with some advanced kind of options. You can play around and before you invest more than you're ready to lose, you can have a whole account doing all kinds of things for you. Of course, if you do that, you know, it's all going to go up. You're going to feel like a genius. And then when the market really opens up to you, it probably won't work the same way. We're about to enter what I call genius mode. I think I'm not the only one to call it that. Do you hear that phrase ever around altcoin seasons?
You're in that time of the bull market where everyone's a genius and everyone's posting screenshots of their gains, but no one's hitting the sell button, and then everyone holds the bags back down and the genius.
Yeah, exactly. Or like just everything's pumping, even stuff that shouldn't be pumping for no reason at all. And everybody feels like a genius because all our portfolios are up.
Yes.
We're on the brink.
And it's a great time. You know?
It is a great time, and it's a great macro time. I wanted
wait.
to.
Question from residents. William, why use the 21 period for crypto when it's traded 24/7? 21 period more suitable for stocks. Well, the 21 isn't I'm only getting data for 21 hours of the day. The 21 exponential moving average is the average price of the asset over 21, if I'm looking at the daily chart, days. If I'm looking at the hourly chart, 21 hours. If it's the week, 21 weeks. If it's the month, 21 months. You know, something like that. So it's not 21 hours it's not like you're only collecting 21 hours of out of the 24 hours. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well said. And your resonance, you also asked a question about code being law. And this is a good thing to touch on the macro, the bull case. If code is law, then who administers the code? Well, we need helpful regulators who will encourage an easier hands-off approach to innovation. If the people who write the code are going to write cool, innovative stuff. We have not announced it on the show yet, but we're late to the party that Gary Gensler, the head of the SEC, has officially announced that he plans to resign his position, and the Trump administration is already talking about who they're going to nominate as a pick to replace him. So for everybody who's bearish on Gary Gensler, let me say this, let me say, and I think that about sums it up. Do you have any thoughts? You want to memorialize him?
Na 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 na. Hey, goodbye. That's all I have to say.
That sounds good. Good.
Resonance. I didn't say that, William. I said 21 period. I don't know what that is.
Clarify for us, your resonance. Let us know.
Yeah.
We had another great question coming in. This is super helpful. How do you research crypto projects to find top or unique performers? There are so many. What would you say, Will? Let's give a round of research tips.
Well, my number one favorite, because I like investing in DeFi, decentralized finance coins. The reason why I like it is because it's one of the only use cases within crypto that actually gets adoption amongst its targeted audience, which are people who like to invest. And you can go and use a great tool called DeFiLlama.com. And what it does is it measures how many real dollars, how much actual money is being used on a platform crypto like an Ethereum or Solana or pick one, right? Avalanche, so on and so forth. And then you can go on that and look at all of the DeFi coins and see who really has the most money, therefore who has the most adoption, and therefore the most natural demand for the token for the price to go up. And then you can start to find young coins and might see a coin that's like, hey, the amount of money being put on it in this ecosystem is increased by like 80% in a week. You might go, oh shit, that's a young coin. It looks like it's getting adoption. Let me check it out. Let me see what the reasons possibly are. Maybe it's something I want to invest in at a low market cap in a hot ecosystem with a lot of money. And that's something you might want to invest in and do a quick flip on. Or maybe it's like, one of the bigger coins, but still the adoption numbers are great. And you might go, okay, cool, great. On a dip, I want to buy this, So I really like DeFi Llama for that because I like investing in projects that have money and adoption flowing to them. And DeFi Llama does a great job of that for DeFi coins. If it's not a DeFi coin, you can go to another site called DApp, D-A-P-P, Radar, R-A-D-A-R.com.
And we'll put these in the Discord if you have questions.
And one of the great things about that is it can measure adoption in a different way from DeFi Llama. It can measure the adoption of non-DeFi coins by measuring the amount of wallets that are connecting to it and the amount of transactions on it and those sorts of things. So other ways to measure demand, therefore other ways to measure adoption amongst its targeted audience, which are things that I like. And if you want to find the Discord, you can go to the links on our profiles. Typically we have it up here as well on the notice board, but that got erased. We'll have that up tomorrow again. But you can go to our profiles, go to the link, head on over to the Discord. If you have a problem with it, because some people do, send us a DM and we will send you the link directly.
Yeah, sorry, rip notice board. Excellent tips, Will. And I would add that it's really tough when you're just getting here to separate the wheat from the chaff, because these people are really good at marketing because everything is new
So
to
good.
you. And well, except when they're not, looking at you, crypto.com.
Crypto.com.
But, the important thing is looking at proof in the pudding. Metrics like Will gave you are going to help you determine if a protocol is substantial or if it's just hype. And I want to give an example from the comments. So there's a project, we've reviewed it before. Will's partnered with them before, and they have just done a lot of stuff in our space recently, Char's AI. I'm pretty sure we reviewed them on an episode of After Dark. Didn't we? Am I wrong?
No, we definitely did.
I'll give you more on that in a second. But this is a good example of how they're an AI crypto project in the Solana ecosystem that has gotten some press attention from the Solana Foundation that has helped boost their notoriety. And if you're new and you're getting here and somebody tells you about TARS, because that's the other thing, is they had a really effective marketing campaign where all of a sudden everybody was talking about it. And so if you're just scrolling on TikTok looking for crypto to invest in and you see 3 videos that say this AI crypto is going to the moon, or no one is talking about this AI crypto gem, and they proceed to tell you the 3 or 4 reasons why you should be paying attention because it's going to go up in value, then you're pretty convinced. And you go to their website and they say, we're doing AI, but with crypto. And you're like, wow, 2 future technologies that definitely will be big. Sign me up, take my money. But they don't really have a product. I understand their network isn't really out of testnet, and the partnerships with Solana and others are greatly exaggerated. And if you want more of our thoughts on this, Will's a great person to get it from because he is, got expertise in the intersection of AI and cryptocurrency deeply. So we can share more about that on After Dark. But my point to you is don't fall just for hype. Hype can make you money for sure.
Certainly can.
It certainly can. But it's important to be able to tell the difference between something that is likely to come to fruition and something that's not. And the best way to do that is just by spending time around here learning, seeing which companies are actually building products and whether or not their product is in fact a token that they are using to raise money, as is often the case.
Yeah. I saw a comment here by the one by Jay that I think is interesting. It's crypto needs AI, but I don't think AI needs crypto.
Oh.
Crypto doesn't need AI in any way, shape, or form, and the pairing between the two of them is super dumb and idiotic. I spent 8 years in the AI machine learning field working with the top-ranked data scientists in AI machine learning for several years. Taking an AI protocol and putting it on the blockchain and then putting a cryptocurrency on top of it is super dumb because it makes it harder for people to actually use that AI marketplace or for a data scientist to go and build that model right there. Now, AI in blockchain, useful. AI in crypto, total waste of time, in my personal opinion. Now, what do I mean by that? AI in blockchain can be very useful for 2 reasons. One of which Evan likes to talk about, and so do Alex, which is we have these AI fake videos that are like getting really good right now that are like creating misinformation campaigns that are getting harder and harder to tell if it's actually not real. And so what you can do is if you take these kinds of videos and put it onto the blockchain, you can actually verify if that video is fake or if it's real. If it's coming from the person who's tied to the blockchain, you can actually verify through blockchain technology that this video is not AI, it is not misinformation, it is genuinely coming from that person. That's a great pairing between AI and blockchain. Another thing that would be great is in the data science world, if you are a data scientist and you are building out some model or you're building out an application that has AI models in it, the application does something for a business, whatever. If you are pulling data from a blockchain that is open and public and you can see that data, that is actually adds so much credibility to your AI model because people can actually look and see how high of a data quality you have, what kind of data management process you have, because you can build a super, super great model. But there's a saying in the space that a lot of people are familiar with even outside of it, which is garbage in, garbage out. If your data's shit, your model is going to be shit. Even if the model's coded perfectly by the greatest data scientists in the world in that field, if you don't have good data, you don't have a good application. So if you build an application and you're pulling data from the blockchain, everyone and their mother can verify, who has a data science and data analyst background, can verify like, oh, this data resource is super rich, really high quality. what's being pushed out by this AI app is really, really good and solid. And it's a really fast way to get thumbs up from the data science community that like, this is legit. Those are the two ways that I see AI and blockchain being useful together. AI and crypto, total fucking horseshit. From top to bottom, absolute garbage. And I fucking hate 99% of AI crypto projects out there because they're just shit show fucking awful, fucking just fucking shit.
He's murdered it. He's murdered it. There are children, William. There are kids who watch this show.
However, there is a project that I find interesting that got put on my radar by DeFi Daddy, which is Grass, which some of you might be familiar with.
Oh, you like Grass?
I find it interesting enough that I want to look into it.
Well,
that is what I will say.
I would look at it again because I feel like it was a bad incentive model.
It was described to me as something that could be useful. I have not looked into it in a serious way, but it was described to me by DeFi Daddy as a data marketplace for you to grab data from a blockchain to be used in AI models, which matches up perfectly with what I said was a good pairing between blockchain technology and AI. So I'm interested enough to look into it as something that could potentially possibly be useful. I have not looked into the details yet, though, but it is an actual use case that could actually maybe be useful, depending on what data they actually have.
I seem to remember that I said they had a bad incentive model. I thought like good for businesses, but very Web 2 in the sense it seemed extractive to the people that they are getting the data from. And here, Nick Johnson just said, it seems like Grass is going to take all your data and use it against you. My father-in-law is doing it. I'm just not bullish on, like, that would definitely be good. Businesses want data. They really don't care how you get it. But I'm very bullish on somebody's going to crack the nut of permission and consent and how to, like, the cool thing about blockchain data, not just its verifiability, its transparency, but also you can learn lots of things about someone without even needing to know who they are. If I'm just a wallet address, then you can have my data. You can even benefit from giving it to someone, and they don't even need to know anything about you. They can know things about you without knowing who you are. Our guest on Wednesday on After Dark is going to be Evan McMullen. Great name. And she is the co-founder of a company called Bravado ID, formerly Disco. She's formerly Consensus. And she talks really well about decentralized identifiers, which are going to be just a huge part of the future. But the short answer is it uses math magic, the technology, to prove things about you without revealing those things to a third party who might use them against you. You know, if I go to a bar and I want to have a drink, I got to show somebody my driver's license, which tells them all kinds of stuff. Or if I have a credential on chain because I'm a member in good standing of the Republican Party, then maybe somebody will weaponize that against me. So it's important to be able to, verify stuff, whether it's an AI or something about my personal identity without revealing it to everybody. I think that was the problem with Grass. I would double check, and I would encourage you to double check because I'd like your take on it. I definitely think.
Yeah, now that I'm back and in the saddle, I'll definitely spend a little bit of time, and then I'll be hanging out with my family Tuesday evening, through Thanksgiving. So there'll be political conversations I want to walk away from, and probably just look at crypto.
Real quick, let me touch back on if you have an altcoin that you want us to look into, whether it's Grass or Verse Token or Super or whatever, you need to check out the Rise Up After Dark playlist on our YouTube profile. You can search Faceless Labs, Rise Up After Dark, and you'll see we've got 13 episodes in the can where we do about 10 to 12 altcoins each. Will, Alex, and I, and sometimes our special guests will go through, give their expert takes on these tokens. We will demonstrate how to do your research. The stuff that Will and I are talking about, we do it live right in front of you. So you can see ways different investors consider paying more time or attention to these tokens. And then we grade them on a scale of A to F. Alex always gives a no. And then we hand out points at the end of the there's always one no. And we have done a lot of your favorite tokens there. The best place to find, if you need that resource or a particular episode to ask about it, is in our Discord server. It's totally free to join. There are learners at all levels of experience. They're just like you. And it is a great place to accelerate your learning journey. Whether you're looking for the latest episode of Rise Up After Dark, or you just want to talk to somebody about what they think the market is going to do next, it's discord.gg/faceless Bitcoin.com/rise up, and the only thing missing is you. I had a quick look at a question that came through about how long after you were talking about altcoin season, Will, it will last. And as we were talking about research and this next phase of the market, I wanted to touch on that. Will, you're giving me the universal sign for IDK.
I don't know.
IDK.
I don't know.
Historically, altcoin seasons have lasted from like a couple weeks to a couple of months. And
well, the altcoin season, like the legit one in the 4-year cycle where Bitcoin dominance really starts to fall, lasts anywhere between 300 to 360 or so days.
Oh my God. We're just talking about the specific time altcoins outperform Bitcoin. Is that what you're talking about? 360 days?
300 to 360 days.
But you're talking about the last 12 years. I think people are talking specifically in the comments about not just outperformance, but outsized gains reflective to their own prior performance. I don't disagree with your definition at all. But my experience of if you're calling that an altcoin season, I think it's a good definition. But my understanding of history is that a lot of altcoin seasons have been really down times.
No.
I mean, for the market at whole.
You don't think so? I mean, no.
Let me pull up my chart. You're making me pull up my chart now.
I'm pulling up my chart.
Okay, you pull up your chart. It'll be faster. Show me what you're looking at.
Yeah, this is Bitcoin dominance. Let me clean this up a little bit. This is Bitcoin dominance chart.
Also, you owe me a smiley face for the vibes.
I know I do. These green lines are the Bitcoin halvings. I don't have the other one here, but this is when altcoins first became a thing. And this is going all the way back to 2017, basically. As you can see here, this is when the bull run ended. The bull run ended right here. So this is a very large swath of altcoin season doing great. And then we had the bear run where Bitcoin dominance started going up. Then we had the halving happen, right? And we had the bull market, the last year of the bull market, we had altcoin dominance really fell hard. And then we had the bear market, Bitcoin dominance started going up a little bit. Then we had the ETFs, we had the halving. And now we are potentially at a point, as I highlighted earlier, where we're about to break out of this channel and have our 300 days or so of, happy fun times.
Yes, but I'm not talking about. Thank you for the smiley face. I needed that. I'm talking about specifically like during a bear market, Bitcoin dominance can drop, even if the altcoins don't rally significantly, because they lose value more rapidly than Bitcoin, or Bitcoin holds its value better during a market sell-off. So like after the 2017 highs in 2018, it was Bitcoin dominance down. But altcoins were also largely down compared to their 2017 highs. But by that definition, I would have called it an altcoin season. My point is just that sometimes when Bitcoin dominance is down, it doesn't mean that your favorite altcoins are ripping compared to this time period we seem to be entering now, where Bitcoin dominance will weaken and altcoins, like you said, they're just gonna go bananas, or we expect them to go bananas in terms of their price action.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean? Like the distinction?
Yeah, I mean, like you have to have the Bitcoin dominance go down, and you're immediately after a Bitcoin halving. That's what you have to have. So you have to have the price of Bitcoin still going up while the Bitcoin dominance is still going down.
Yeah, and don't forget the macro picture, like Will was saying. The macro picture is king. If Gary Gensler's fired and people are happy about Trump and trade is flourishing and whatever. Altcoin seasons, they can be risky times to buy, and that's what I wanted to come around to. There are lots of tokens that will grow now, but you, Alex says it better, have to be ready to pivot. When the market is hot like this and things can change very quickly, especially if you're new, it doesn't mean you can't make money here or that it's not a good time to invest, but it's just a riskier time. Things are moving more quickly.
I would like to mention, though, that we're in a bull market. We're potentially in the last year of a bull market, maybe 7 months, maybe a year. If you look at the 4-year cycle, maybe it'll be longer. Maybe it'll be shorter. But we're in a bull market. So be comfortable buying at higher price points.
High prices. Yeah, well said.
It's going to happen. Yeah. I saw a question from Ashiste, I think.
Yeah, he said, have you guys talked about these things yet? He's talking about some of the things that are happening in the Farcaster ecosystem, a non-cast, Clanker, confidential ERC20, pump fund.
Yeah, I don't know anything about those.
Okay, so basically what's happening is, if you've heard us on the show before, one of the best things about hanging out in a community like this is you can learn how to make money in crypto by understanding what crypto is, beyond just speculative betting. And one of the best places to do it is a social app called Warpcast. It's like Twitter, but it's mostly populated by people in and around blockchain. And they're doing all kinds of social experiments because Warpcast integrates with features and functions that make it possible to do crypto stuff in a social feed. Machiste is referring to a couple of these projects that have kind of blown up. A non-cast Machiste, I actually haven't dug into. I don't know how it works. I just know that it's big. My understanding is you can use... it sounds like a ZK play, like I was just talking about a second ago, where you can do stuff online by using the blockchain to prove that it is authentic without revealing things about yourself. So my understanding is it's one character or account that people are sharing, and we are able to verify who they are, or verify that it's, them without, here he says, buy 30K Anon tokens. You can post on the Anon Twitter account anonymously. Yeah, by 3 million tokens, you can delete posts. So it's like a social experiment in how using tokens can help us do things anonymously, collaboratively to manage a social feed. Could you imagine a really interesting social feed that was managed that way, where people would pay to post or pay to delete while remaining anonymous? Clanker is one where it's a bot that integrates such that you can tweet, you can cast a ticker, $, shark mattress token. I don't know, $, cranberries in a can. And it will create a supply of tokens for you that it sends to a website that's like pump.fun that people can also buy and sell in a social feed. So the way that pump.fun and other such websites made buying meme coins as easy as clicking a button, this takes that model and integrates it into a Twitter-like experience. So people can just speculate on ideas and memes in real time. The same way, it's easy for you to go copy and paste a picture of SpongeBob and put a caption on it and send it to your Facebook. Now it's easier than ever to do that with a token and share it with your friends. And it decreases the time it takes for the token meme to achieve something like virality if people like it. A lot of really interesting stuff like that is happening at Warpcast. And honestly, you probably won't hear about it on crypto TikTok or see it reflected in some sort of like speculative token that you can buy for a year. But knowing about it is going to set you up for it. For example, everybody's talking about DGen right now. I have had DGen that I got totally for free by participating on Warpcast for about a year. I have thousands of them, tens of thousands of them. I didn't pay a cent for them. So everybody who's caught up in the meme frenzy around DGen now, they're late. They're later than me anyway, and I didn't have to spend a cent for it. I hope that's helpful. Feel free to come up anytime.
Pay dividends.
Pay dividends.
Evan, I have to ride my pony off into the sunset.
Oh, okay. Do you have time for a very quick final thought before you go to email land?
Yes, final thoughts. Pump my bags.
Pump my bags. People always like to know what we hold. Do you want to give a quick rundown of the tokens that you hold?
I've tried to say Bitcoin, but also tried to say that I'm boring at the same time. I own Bitcoin and I own Aerodrome. That's it. I might get to the opportunity where I take some profits on Aerodrome above $2.20, and then I might put that into stable coins and maybe look to play with some meme coins again. But that's all I have: Bitcoin and Aerodrome.
Well, thank you very much. And any other thoughts for us before we see you tomorrow?
I don't know if I have any other thoughts right now. No, I don't really have too much else to share other than, yeah, it's a bull market. So get used to buying at higher prices.
Okay.
You do get a correction.
Step one.
Don't get your head stuck in like, I need it to be at this price point, even though the prices continue to shoot upwards, move that buy target up higher. The other thing I would say is in this market, where you're in a bull market, it is not the greatest idea to try to outsmart the market and try to like, oh, I'll sell now. And if it goes down, I'm going to buy back in. You might sell and just keeps flying upwards. So I would say it's a much more profitable, much less risky situation or strategy to be in. Like, hey, I'm going to buy this thing. I'm going to hold it for 4 months minimum, and then I'll look to sell. In the meantime, as I get more cash, I'll just buy as it goes, as it is red, and then add that to my pile of coins I sell at 4 months. So that's it. That's all I have to share.
Beautiful.
I gotta go, but great seeing you guys.
You
Catch y'all
always
later.
the best part of my morning, Will. Thank you so much. Bye for now, my friend.
Man, Alex is gonna be so jealous to hear that.
Suck it, Alex. When Alex is away, the boys will play. I'll see you soon.
Suck it, Alex.
Machiste, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining me up here. So you saved me from myself. I just wanted to give you a chance to talk about some of those things since we just touched on them, and maybe anything else you wanted to share about getting the alpha being early. And of course, welcome.
Thanks. I think the summary you gave is pretty good. I was just interested in like covering some of those things that are maybe outside of the domain of just like trading. Because I think there's a lot of interesting. Yeah. I mean, it's not lost on me. A lot of people are paying attention because they're interested in trading. But I think a lot of other folks also ask what else is there to do. And so there's a lot of really interesting experiments happening. And a non-cast is really interesting because I think for the reasons you mentioned. Also, Vitalik picked up some Anon. So is he posting? We wouldn't know. It's also using ZK proofs in an interesting way. So a ZK proof is basically a way of saying, I have information that I can prove that I know, but I'm not going to let you know what that information is. So, for example, you could say, I am over 18 years old, but I'm not going to tell you what my age is or
show you my passport or my driver's license or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm just interested in tech that, interested in applications that use that kind of tech in interesting ways. So, and a non-cast is one of them.
And just let me say, if all you care about is money and investing in the space, there are people who are like trying to find the next token that's going to do 100x. And some of them are good at it. Some of them do it professionally. Some of them work in the industry and have more of an advantage than you. And you just hope they'll post about it on TikTok. And then there are people building tech like this that you struggle to say, what would that be used for? But in the future, somebody is going to use that to replace driver's licenses, and everybody in the world is the total addressable market. Could you imagine being the guy who invented, for example, Q-tips, or being an investor who saw the Oscar Mayer Wiener pitch before the Oscar Mayer Wiener mobile or a single sausage was made and said, yeah, I'll give that guy $10. Good luck to him. And then you get a check in the mail for $50 million because you were early to that thing because you understood the vision before anybody else even knew about it. That is the alpha here. That's why we're talking about this. Sorry, Machiste. So what are some of the other things that people are building that all of us might use in the future when we're on chain?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, let me just quickly talk about something that came to mind yesterday in the same vein you were just talking about. I went to the movies. I went to go see Gladiator 2.
Oh man, how was it?
I thought it was. I gave it like a 6.5 out of 10.
Oh.
I was set up to think it was going to be a total disaster.
Okay.
So I went in. Yeah, because I've heard a lot of bad things, but I thought it was okay. Anyway, I'm buying tickets for this on Fandango. And Fandango lets you buy the movie tickets without logging in. And then they hit you with, if you want to access your tickets, you need to sign in and download the app and all this other stuff. I was like, oh my God. And then I went through this huge loop of email password resets getting locked out because it wasn't working for some reason. And I was like, can I just use my freaking ETH wallet, please? And have this something I could just connect my wallet to, mint the ticket, and then just have it. Why is this so difficult? So in the future, whoever does that first, if it's Fandango, if it's Movieplex, if it whatever those different apps are, that's the one I'm going to use. And
I mean, Ticketmaster, all these other kind of legacy companies are going to bed at night scared of that because I mean, who wouldn't use that? Mm-hmm. It would be a no-brainer. Right. That's a good one. Okay, any others for us? Or what have you been working on?
I've been working on some longer term projects that are unannounced. So I'll
got to zip it up.
Yeah. But I guess on the side, actually, I tweeted about this the other week. It's becoming somewhat of a tradition. I host Super Bowl boxes on chain. And so Super Bowl boxes is really a game for people who like American football.
Okay.
So if if you ever watch the Super Bowl with your friends, there's like this 10x10 grid. You pick like a square on the grid. Have you ever played this?
I haven't actually. This is great for a novice like me. I'm football.
Sure. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. You basically just you get like 100 people together. So usually it's done at offices or bars or something. And you just pick a random square. You pay for it. It costs, anywhere between $5 and $20. I would say $20 is like on the high end. And you basically just wait for the grid to fill up, and then it gets assigned a random value. And I just DM'd you the link.
Oh,
and then basically your box can win based on the score of the game.
I see. It's like a bingo game, but with football stuff. So-and-so has 7 points and so-and-so has 50. This is a field goal and this is a touchdown kind of thing. And I own it, so I win.
Yeah. So I made it this year so that any token community can like make their own grid and say it costs 5 degen a box, or it costs, 10 keyboard cat a box or whatever, and then the winner gets like the pool of tokens. But the reason I think it's interesting is because it's a on-chain app that's using off-chain data in a safe and secure way, which is not trivial. And I think a lot of other apps are going to start doing something similar, because a lot of apps depend on external data. But as we know, the blockchain only knows about data that's on-chain. So getting it on-chain is, not trivial.
Okay, so this is what I need to know from you. Are you using Clanker to launch Cranberries in a Can token?
No.
Okay, I'm going to need you to do that. I need you to launch a whole Thanksgiving feast. I know you don't have any time for it. Maybe I'll get on and do it. I've been saying this since fall started. That is the meme. I'm calling it now. Somebody probably has already launched it on Pump.Fun. I don't know if you saw it. David Hoffman, one of the Bankless guys, had a really good tweet the other day that was something like, if people are into meme coins and people are active on Base, then like the next blow up in the meme coin market is going to be on Base. Basically saying like, that's where people are paying attention. That's where the tools are being built, but like the volume hasn't showed up yet. So buckle in if you believe in that thesis. So I'm trying to get Cranberries in a Can over there before Thanksgiving dinner when people are looking for an escape from their family, because everybody loves cranberries.
It's never been easier. I mean, you could just mention the bot and tell it what you want the ticker to be and the name, and then it just launches it and it tags you. So, I mean, you don't have to know how to code. You don't have to do anything. It just happens. And so best of luck to you.
Thank you. Someone said turkey in a can. I think we could launch a whole in a can meme, man.
Yeah. Love it.
Well, brother, thank you for the update and for coming up. If anything else you want to help me answer questions, you certainly can feel free. Otherwise, I'll let you go. I know you're a working man in your prime. Alex is just jumping back in, and Oi. You want to say anything to Machiste real quick?
No.
He says.
Great.
Sorry, man.
Smell you later.
Hey, guy.
Good to see you, brother. Thanks again for coming up.
Threw up the old ETH handle.
I updated.
Oh man, I've been calling you Machiste this whole time, Mike.eth. Real quick before you do go though, if people want to go to Warpcast after this tantalizing conversation that we've given them and they want to find you, this is your handle, right? Is it Mike or Mike.eth?
Just Mike.
Okay, just Mike. That's right. And you'll have a friend on Warpcast. So
great.
Awesome.
Well,
thanks, man.
I'm bummed I missed you. But good to see you for a very brief second.
You too. Later.
Bye. Well, Alex, you're back, and you're early. Go ahead and mute your mic over here, though.
Oh my God,
naughty boy.
There's nothing worse than Evan going, why don't you go ahead and mute that microphone? You
not ideal.
I know, right? Getting the son and my dad. My brother in a different font. And I'm so glad you're here, because now kind of at the end of the show, we've had a lot of questions. And I just want to say, for people who are new, because I know you're new, you watch both of us, and we create a lot of content that is designed to help people who are brand new, who are hearing about crypto for the first time, to get in, feel confident, and stay safe moving around here. If you've been watching this show, or you're just tuning in and you're like, oh my gosh, this is over my head, you're talking too deep, listen, slow down. This is meant to be a conversation that you're in for a long time. We want to be your friends in the crypto space who introduce you to other friends and help you learn how to navigate this place. We're not just here one time. We're here Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. Central, Central Standard Time on TikTok, on YouTube, on Twitter. We're coming soon to LinkedIn and Facebook, so you can send us to your grandma who's interested in Bitcoin and needs to stay safe, or
And your
the
boss.
school teacher or the barber, your boss. Absolutely. Pay me in Bitcoin, boss. And we have a ton of resources for you. And the one I want to tell you about is the Rise Up Discord server, because it's a hub for everything else. It's discord.gg/Rise Up. It's totally free to join. There are learners at all levels of experience. We can talk about everything from how to buy Bitcoin to when to take profits and set price targets, how to avoid the most common scams and schemes. We have live classes for that, recordings. We have so many resources for you waiting there. We want to help you learn. All that's missing is you. And Alex, I teased it when you were gone. Rise Up After Dark is our Wednesday show. And this week, Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central, we are having my friend and sister by name, Evan McMullen of Bravado ID, to talk about decentralized identity and how that kind of thing that Mashiste was talking about, verifying off-chain stuff, on-chain works. It's going to be a great conversation for people who really want to understand where the future is going and how to get ahead of it as an investor, as a builder, or just a citizen of the world. So
yeah,
Alex,
she's great. We've
back.
actually she's an OG guest. We actually had her on the original podcast, which has got to be like what, a year and a half, 2 years ago almost now.
Absolutely.
So that episode is up on YouTube right here if you're watching us here, over there if you're watching us there. But no, she's cool. I'm excited to see what she's been up to ever since. I will say that one of the
she's an icon, dude. One
of the best things that you can subject yourself to in crypto is talking to someone who has been here actively working and building stuff for the entire time. It is always super interesting, and that's one of the reasons I'm excited to go to Emergence, to see if we run into any familiar faces, just because, I mean, at this point, this is going to be my like 20th conference in a few years.
Bullish and bearish on conferences at the same time.
Yeah, but I mean, you just know people. You just know people everywhere.
Yeah. And Evan is, she's kind, she's easy, she's a great teacher. She really clarifies things. We have a couple of good questions coming in. Somebody just asked, I want to do the scam commercial, Alex. Somebody just asked about XRP 2.0. It appears to be a totally independent initiative with no substantial endorsement from Ripple. There are lots of things in the crypto world that will hijack the credibility of something to sell you something that is a scam. My favorite example of this, and one you're going to see a lot, is the quantum financial system, QFS. If you see anybody talking about QFS, at best, they're totally misinformed. At worst, they're actively trying to harm you. We know dozens of people who've been scammed out of hundreds of thousands of dollars by this. You need to run from them. They are not
being like exaggerative or anything. Literally hundreds of thousands of dollars. We've heard from single individual people who have, over the course of years, lost 6 figures in investments into scams like QFS.
Yeah. Always double check information you read on the internet. Yeah. Look for official websites. And that's another good reason to be in the Discord, right, Alex? Is, if you got a question, just pop it in there. We can help you.
So it's a really good way of phrasing that too, to say like hijack the credibility of something like XRP too. So I'll say this again, because I guess I need to. Lil Onion told me that I dislike XRP. I don't dislike it. It just, there's no way for me to talk about XRP that isn't me either shilling it or me hating it. Like one thing I've noticed, I've been doing this for years now. I have noticed just a really weird disconnect in people's minds where people are not like open to hearing middle of the road assessments of XRP. I don't have a single issue with it. Literally not one.
Same.
I think I have a very positive opinion of Ripple as a company. I have met both Brad and David more than once. They've done incredible things for the industry. They have, like I keep saying, they've been one of the few who could have even deigned to stand the wisp of a chance against the onslaught of bullshit from the SEC. For how many years have they been doing that now? I say every time, no one on earth deserves a pump more than the XRP army. And I'm rooting for you guys so hard. I don't hold it because it's not interesting to me, the token. I have high conviction in other things, and that's where I put my time and my attention and my money. But I don't dislike XRP at all. I'm not particularly interested in the cross-border payment narrative with a volatile currency, that's really it. You could sum
That's very concise.
My whole dissenting opinion down to that. I think using a volatile currency to facilitate cross-border payments is not the way to go. I would probably eat a few of my words and say that I do think that Bitcoin can be used for that, but I think that's a special case.
Yeah, and I want to be clear, like the whole thing about like loving or hating a token.
That's it.
Can we send that away? Can we send
For
that
real.
to like it's an
Well,
investment. You know what I mean?
Except for Hex. I hate Hex.
Except for Hex. I actively hate Hex. I don't say it a lot, but fuck Hex. Sorry, kids. My apologies. If you are one of those people who loves a token or hates a token,
I'm literally wearing a Stellar shirt right now. XRP, XLM. I got no beef.
I've held
one
XRP.
of my very good friends works for Stellar.
I've made money swing trading XRP. I enjoyed doing that, and that's why I know you saw those 2 videos that I made. I made a here's what I personally think why I don't think
That's
XRP.
a great pair of videos, by the way.
I got so many comments, dude, on those videos because people there's no context on TikTok. A lot of people are seeing me for the first time and they hear me say, "Here's a realistic case for how XRP could go to $10." And I try to preface it by saying like this is not necessarily what I believe. I'm just being logical. And you can watch these 2 videos back to back and see a talking head on the internet convincingly argue for both sides of a thing, one of which I sincerely believe and one of which I don't, but I don't have any hate for it. If you love or hate a token, that is clouding your ability to make a good judgment call when it comes
Hex,
time
that makes you a rational human being.
Yeah. And also like the QFSs of the world, like,
yeah I mean there's obviously like scams and stuff, but not time, but just like a project in general, like I don't know. Plus, I think Evan and I talk about all the time when we heard that Ripple was doing RLUSD as a stablecoin.
Love it.
I was like, dude, if anything, I'm massively bullish on that. Plus, the ledger works well. If they can get users doing stuff and building things over there, then there becomes right there a way more interesting use case for XRP as a token for me.
Mm-hmm.
A densely populated and bustling ledger would be dope, and I hope the stablecoin crushes. And like I said, I don't know. I'm rooting for everyone holding XRP. You guys are dedicated as hell, and no one deserves a pump greater. Someone asked me the other day when XRP was pumping, like, something to the effect of, haha, sucker. And I'm like, dude, like audit the stream and my channel. I've made multiple videos about it. I don't know what to tell you. Like if you made a bunch of money with XRP, I'm truly happy for you. You deserve it. Good for you. But if you want to be an asshole about it, then go fuck yourself. I don't care.
Speaking of people who deserve a bunch of money, somebody asked about your favorite cryptocurrency company or former favorite cryptocurrency company, Polkadot.
Well,
how you feeling about it lately?
I mean, I still love Polkadot as a network. I really want to see an overhaul on some spending. And I will say, credit where credit is due. After that bombshell report about spend rate came out, it slowed down, and they've made some adjustments. So I have not seen anything that renews my confidence in that whole thing. But I do recognize that that they've made an effort and that they're gargantuan enough to where they could literally afford to keep spending like that for 2 more years without making any money. Their treasury is insane.
Oh, yeah. And don't you think, because they're kind of like XRP, they're on the front page of the internet. There's so much content about them. They're everywhere. You can buy them. Don't you think they're going to pump? Because
so here's
the narrative and the positioning, like they probably will.
It probably, yeah. But we always do say at the same time, that you got to be careful with the dinosaurs, because not only are there people who bought in the bear market really low and, counting on it, you've got people who held that bag, who bought DOT at $50.
Yeah, dude.
And I don't think I would be holding my breath for DOT to cross 50. I hope I'm wrong. I genuinely do.
You know who bought some DOT almost at $50 and sold it for a loss because he saw the writing on the wall?
You.
This guy.
Yeah. But I mean, mistakes happen. I've had crazy high entries into stuff that plummeted that I was like, nah, well, that was stupid. I mean, we've all been there. I'm sure that's not your only mistake.
Oh no, it is. That's
the only one.
The only one. I'm clear, man. I'm
crushed
clear.
Brother, we literally built our entire ecosystem on a blockchain that then was like, hey, you know what? Peace out. We don't care. We're out of here.
Oh my God.
So we've made the ultimate
we really have
step. You know what's funny too is I always think back, and if you ask Mac about this, he will literally just like, you can see what's left of his soul fall out of his face.
Oh, dude. Mac is so great because he's such an open book like that. He'll be like, well, oh god,
dude. As far as like Elrond now Multiverse X is concerned, like we literally sat there together. We looked at so many. I mean, we had us and the dev team all together, and we analyzed like what it would take to build TFM on like 7 or 8 different. We looked at Cardano, Polkadot,
Immutable X,
Avalanche, Immutable, Ethereum, of course, Polygon, Multiverse
Polygon.
X.
Yep.
There was 1 or 2 other kind of fringe ones that we looked at as well, and then we picked Multiverse X for a few different reasons. You know, I'm not going to bore you with all the details. And Mac looked at all of us. He's like, well, boys, in a year and a half, 2 years, we're either going to look like absolute morons or geniuses. And he was not wrong. But that's okay because my dad is brilliant and he and I are working on fixing it. And I could not be more excited to.
Okay. Don't spoil that yet. Except to say, if you want the preview, if you're a TFM fan, we have something in the works. Go check the Discord because Alex has been posting about it.
Yes. Follow along in the TFM Discord. If you want anything more, please feel free to send comments, concerns, anger, anything. It's all welcome and deserved. And I'm in there every day and more than happy to talk to people. But I'm excited to breathe some life back. I always tell people the same thing. Last thing I'll say.
Go for it.
I guarantee I'm not going to make every token holder happy, but my goal is to at least create 30 or 40 people for each one of them who wants their collectible. And that's really the only thing I give a shit about anymore in tokens is collectibles.
And wouldn't it be so great to see more people like Amsfar in the chat who are repping that story in their PFP? Dude,
real MVP Amsfar every day.
Yeah.
Hold on, there was a really good.
I have a really good question too. If you take it, but I've got
quick disclaimer because this is a problem right now. Just so you guys are all aware. Not necessarily good or bad. I'll let you draw your own conclusions. Tars AI just did a massive paid advertisement campaign. That's why you're seeing all of the videos. Every single one of those videos is a paid promotion, and I have yet to see a single person disclose that they were paid for it. Every single one of those videos is illegal. A major problem in the space. The fact that Tars asks people not to disclose properly or doesn't enforce proper disclosure. Dude, when we did the Stand for Crypto thing, we had to sign a contract with all of the disclosure requirements in, and then pre-posting, there was like a back and forth with our contact person at People First, the advertising agency that facilitated the whole marketing campaign. They went so hard on disclosures, and you were immediately disqualified from the campaign if you weren't. Yes. So Linda, you're probably talking about Tatiana. She's the only person, and
love her.
I love her. She's a good friend of mine.
We need her on the show, Tatiana. Come on.
She didn't disclose properly. She mentioned that it was a partnership at the very end of her video, but the legal requirements for doing paid promotion on social media, especially with financial services and products, are extremely strict, and not a single Tars AI video has done it properly. So just be aware, for your guys' sake, that Tars AI, every piece of content you're seeing about it is paid, every single one. And I encourage you to tell them that in their comments, because we need to kill that kind of marketing, because it's a cancer in this industry. It makes us look like
okay.
idiots.
So I don't have the sound that I wanted, but I will give you for that.
I will absolutely die on this hill. It's just stupid.
Thank you very much.
Not ideal.
And regarding you being our crypto dad,
My dad can beat up your dad.
and also referencing the fact that he probably could. We had a question about, okay, so what token should I buy? And I just want to direct people to a fantastic video that Alex did that came out of a great conversation we had last week that answers the question, I have X dollars, what should I invest in? And the shortest way to answer that question is, if you're asking that question, you should answer that question. Alex, have you seen one of the other movies that I have seen, though it was a long time ago, is Monty Python and the Holy Grail? And you know that they're like crossing the bridge, and the bridge troll is like, "What is your favorite color?" And if you answer, wrong, anybody should be able to answer that question. The guy goes, "Blue, no, yellow, no," and he just floats up, and he's like, "Ah!"
It's because the first guy was like blue, and then the second guy was just like, "What? Blue? No, orange." And then he gets yes.
Right. So asking like what token should I buy is kind of like when the bridge troll asks you like, what crypto token are you going to buy next, and you go, Bitcoin, no, Cardano, no. If you can't answer that question for yourself,
Great reference.
do not spend that money. Come hang out at the Rise Up Morning Show. Come ask questions. Come learn that Tars is doing this, and come learn that Stellar is doing that.
Yeah, and for the record, that Tars might be a fine project. I literally know nothing about them.
I think
because
you do.
marketing
We
turns me
graded
off.
it, man. We graded it.
I know.
And I
I'm
think
just
we gave
saying,
them a
like,
C.
if you put a gun to my head, I don't think there's anything special
Yeah.
about it. But my point is that they participate in widespread influencer KOL shilling. They don't enforce disclosures. I don't trust them.
Yeah,
That's it.
exactly.
Are
and
they
there's
gonna
so
pump?
much stuff in the
Probably
crypto
everyone
space.
and their grandmother is shilling them. So, you know.
And there's so much stuff in the crypto space that you don't need to get every single token that is maybe going to pump. That's the temptation, right? But now Will just got off the stream and he was like, I hold Bitcoin and I hold Aerodrome. You know, and Bill's doing Bill. I just called him Bill. Jesus. Could you imagine if William was Bill? Big bad Bill.
I might start doing that.
I might start doing that too. Like when he said, all right,
Just
settle
casual,
down,
like,
Bill.
Hey, what's up, Bill?
So, you know, but the point is you got to simplify, and there is no need to rush. Even though it's like bull market frenzy, everything is heating up. You will make better decisions on every token you might invest in if you just take a little time. And definitely go watch Alex's video because it's a real good short summary of the episode.
I'm going to do a part 2, hopefully today, just because I had a couple really good comments on that video with some questions and stuff. Because my honest answer is, if you were to ask one of us, like, hey, I have X dollars, what crypto should I buy? And we were like, well, which one do you think you should buy? And you're like, oh, I don't know, buy USDC. Just buy a stablecoin. Start
totally.
There. If you have
learn how to get yield, learn how to send it. I love it.
Yeah.
We both have videos on that. I would say one of the videos you should look for, especially if you're new to our channels, you know, the algorithm is going to serve you, you know, maybe Alex's tax video has been hot lately. I had an XRP video that's hot, but if you really want to get the good stuff from us and you're not ready to join the Discord community yet, for example, even though it's free, is you should look at some of our tutorial explainer how-to videos. We have a great video on YouTube, to toot our own horn, about how to do your own research. Like one way you might go start to finish a process you can do yourself in 5 minutes to use a couple of great websites that maybe you don't know about to analyze a crypto project when it comes to your attention. So please do stick around, give us a chance, and let us know what questions you have. We have so many people in our community who are so Machiste, Will's here, Doug is in the chat, you know. And
too, just I personally spend quite a lot of time curating the playlists on my TikTok as well.
Oh, I need to.
I love the playlist feature, and I go through once a week and update and reorganize and stuff. So I've just put together a crypto tax playlist. There's only 3 things in there so far, but that's kind of my focus right now, is just to populate that playlist with a whole bunch of stuff. But the 60 seconds, the crypto and taxes, and then the actually helpful, those are my top 3 playlists. So like those are great places to start. If you haven't gone through all that kind of stuff, just because searching someone's TikTok feed is a nightmare. So I've tried to put it in a good order and tag all of the actually helpful stuff. There's a whole bunch of other videos. Obviously, there's thousands literally, but the good ones are in playlists for you. And my playlists are called Web3 101 and Investing in Crypto. I also have playlists about AI, the metaverse. But I need to do like Alex does and go through. I wonder if we could maybe make our kind of final thoughts question this: how would you decide when to take profits one? After we say first, welcome Neil, a true friend and OG. We were just talking about some of the puzzles that we had to do at Thanksgiving a few years ago. Tori was saying maybe I have time to do another puzzle as I make my taters. Oh my God, I would. Well, first of all, spoiler alert, I really want to do something when we you know get the swap up and running. I really want to do some kind of, we got to do something. Yeah, I agree. So stay tuned for that. Yeah. Shout out to Neil and Tori, the ultimate OGs. Neil and Tori are, when Evan and I say that we vividly remember streaming this show to 2 people on Twitter, those 2 people were Neil and Tori. Yeah, really, truly. And I'd love to have you guys up anytime you can. You know, Neil, Tori, you both are so welcome on this platform anytime. And we don't even have to, you know, we just can introduce people to, you both do very interesting things. OG. And are great examples of what it means to be, you know, in Web3. And we're not necessarily, any of us working at a hedge fund or anything like that. So, you know,
Oh shoot, Neil's already writing a puzzle in the comments. Come on, somebody stop him. How to take profits. That's the question on the table. And while we do that, I do want to invite people because we're nearing the end of our show today. This is about the time we take our dogs and ponies into the sunset, but we will be back at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow and Wednesday and Thursday. And you can find all our stuff on YouTube or in the Discord, discord.gg/riseup. And I would love to know not just your final thoughts as we answer this question, if you've got one, but I'd really love to know where everybody's tuning in from, because I've seen a couple times throughout the stream, a friend from Jamaica, a friend from Australia. Let us know where you are, where you're listening, and just thank you so much for being the best part of the Rise Up Morning Show. It's morning somewhere, and we couldn't do it without you. So, Alex, taking profits. How do you pick a price target? How do you decide how much to sell? How do you decide when is the right time?
Listen.
What do you think about?
I think all of that is way too complicated. And the more complicated your profit-taking strategy, the more likely you are to screw it up and break it. I'm speaking from lots of experience and making lots of mistakes. My first bull run, I had a really, really convoluted strategy. I don't even remember exactly what it was. It was awful. It was like for every 25% that the price of a token increases, I'll sell 15% unless it was, too quick or whatever. And I had all these exceptions and it was terrible. And like every time I looked at something doing something, I was like, wait, does this qualify? And then I just didn't do anything and I froze and locked, and then I bag held the entire thing all the way back down to zero and rode it all through, the entire bear market all the way until 2021. And then that one, I was like, no, now I got to figure it out. I'm a pro. And then I was like selling everything out of a bag really aggressively and regretting it every single time and selling things for a loss way too fast and all this other stuff. So I was just like, knee jerk overreacting all the time. And so this time, third time's the charm, third bull run. Basically all I've done is I check the prices of stuff literally just for the show, a few times a week. And if things are really green, I sell like 25% of my position. Whatever's left in the position, I just sell 25% of it. And then on red days, I look back at it and I'll take my stablecoin position and if it's something that, I still feel good about, that's really the only thing I keep adjusting. It's like, how good do I still feel about Solana, about Avalanche, about whatever. And then on the red days, I just like, you know what, here, just, throw 10% of the stablecoin position back into the project.
And Alex, I want to clarify
again, sell 25% of it.
I want to clarify for people that you tend to hold tokens that are not going to be gone tomorrow. Like this is not a strategy you necessarily apply to Harry Potter, Sonic, Obama, Inu in the meme coin casino, right?
Absolutely not. No, I literally only hold Bitcoin, Ethereum, Avalanche, Solana, and USDC.
Okay, and it's not because those are the only tokens you might like or be interested in. It's just because it's easier that way, and you have conviction in them.
Yeah. It's two things. Yeah. One, it's easier because I have long-term conviction in them. I know a lot more about them. I can sit here and talk to you about any one of those for hours. Other stuff that I don't know that much about, I don't feel confident investing in because I'm not paying attention. It's a bandwidth problem. I have too many other things going on to sit here and watch too many other things. That might not be an issue for you. You may be better at time management than me and able to track 15 different tokens at the same time. If that's true and the case, then, honestly, good for you. I'm envious. Just make sure that you're aware that that's what it takes. We had a coaching and Q&A session last night with a few of the Discord members. And one of the comments that someone gave was like, here's my list. What do you think about this list, whatever. And Will and I were both like, you got to consolidate, dude. And I just picked one out of a hat, out of the list. And I was like, Alluvium was the project in question. I'm like, what can you tell me about Alluvium right now off the top of your head without having to look it up? Said a couple things and I was like, okay, what do you think about the drama? We didn't know about the drama. So there's just a lot, and for the record, Alluvium's got quite a lot of drama, right? I mean, there's a founder checking themselves into rehab, which, I'm very hopeful that they get the help they need.
Right.
Unfortunately, those things take an unfair toll on projects. And then you've got, inter-team squabbles. You've got accusations of gross treasury mismanagement. You've got the hemorrhaging of players. You got all kinds of stuff. So it's just like, hey, that's really important to know. And if you have so many projects that you are unaware of that, it's time to scale back. So that's why my portfolio is so small, because I know what I can manage, and I built that portfolio over years. And I know that, like, if I have to leave town for a month and I don't have internet access or something, I'm not worried. I know that even if they go down, I'm confident that they'll go back up again. And honestly, I'm cool bag holding for a while with those. You know, like I'm not overly worried about it.
Do you remember that video that Surge did probably 4 years ago? I think we had like the start of a bear market after the last cycle, where he was outside of a movie theater, and it was like, here's what I do when the market is crashing. And he was like just walking up, buying a ticket to the movie and like getting some popcorn and enjoying himself. The lesson was, you know, he's got a portfolio that allows him to be relaxed when everything is falling to pieces, which is such a good point.
100%. Yeah, so honestly, just in the interest of time, if you're asking for thoughts on any project right now, throw them into the Discord, and we can kind of talk about them throughout the day, because we are about to hop off. But suffice it to say, the way that I look at those things, there was a question about Aerodrome, there's a question about BitTensor.
Yep. And we've covered a lot of these on After Dark episodes that we can link you to.
Yes. Yeah, we do have like full thoughts on all of those that we can go through and talk about and stuff. But with regards to, I don't know, any of those, I really would just look at the same stuff. I would look at actual adoption, actual users. I would check DeFi Llama for fees and revenue. Are they making anything? And then, you know, kind of just keep track of their presence and their efforts on social media, in and around marketing, all that good stuff, because those are the factors that matter.
Well said. Oh, I hit the theme song. I was trying to ding you and give you a point. That's what happens when you're driving a soundboard on a Monday morning. Alex, when you were gone, I did break the news very late that Gary Gensler is in fact resigning. I did not break the news that I wanted to ask you about, which is, did you hear that the FBI raided the Polymarket founder?
Yeah.
That was kind of wild. But there's so much more questions, news to talk about, and we're just going to have to do it another day, because we got to ride our dogs and ponies into the sunset. So
I will say, just because I have to, because I'm a curmudgeon and an asshole, I am very relieved that Gary will no longer be the chair of the SEC. Please don't get me wrong. I think he's a detriment to the industry. I don't think he's good at his job. I used to try to give him the benefit of the doubt, because he taught an amazing course at MIT that still to this day, with all things considered, I recommend everybody take, because it's free and it's fantastic. And I can't believe that the person who taught that is the current chair of the SEC, who's been doing all the things he's been doing. Good riddance. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. But this is not weird. It would have been weird if he didn't step down. It is a long-standing tradition that when an administration switches, positions like that step down so that the administration can appoint who they want in their agenda. That is just sort of American political tradition. It doesn't happen every time, but it's weird when it doesn't, because there are positions like the chair of the SEC, the Fed chair, stuff like that, that the president has no authority to fire without very specific reasons, and it requires congressional intervention, and there will be lawsuits and all that sort of stuff. So all I want is for all of us to just be like rational and objective when we describe what's happening. Gary is doing exactly what is expected, and I'm glad that he's going. I was worried for a minute that he might not, but credit where credit is due. This is not like some incredible feat that the incoming administration has pulled off. It was expected. It is tradition, and it's good that we're sticking to it.
It's still a reason to celebrate, though.
It absolutely is. I just don't like people who don't deserve credit getting credit for things that they had very little to do with, if anything. Because like to the opposite, old J-Pow, you know, pulled a Wolf of Wall Street. I'm not leaving.
Yeah, he sure did, didn't he? You have to drag me out.
Fingers crossed. I am really rooting for Hester. Hester's got my vote if I could vote.
Oh, if I could vote, for sure. I don't think the leading candidate, and she said herself that she's not that interested in it. So
I know. Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, it would be a fantastic pick.
But just like Bran at the end of Game of Thrones. her saying that makes me be like, okay, Hester, come on, please, for all of us, Mom.
Real quick,
Do it.
where can folks find Gary's MIT course? Where do they search to pull it up?
If you go to YouTube, this is just a great channel anyway. There's so much more than Gary's course.
Honestly.
Go on YouTube. It's completely free. They're not even monetized. There's no ads on any of them. Go to YouTube, look up MIT Open Courseware. MIT just publishes full blown like 20 plus hours of lectures from full blown MIT courses after they've been taught, and you can sit there and audit the entire course and take it. I've worked through Gary's I forget what it's called, blockchain and something.
Yeah.
But MIT, if you do MIT OpenCourseWare blockchain, you will find it. It's going to be the top hit.
Gary's mug is right there on the thumbnail.
Yeah. And it's so good. This is why we were all so excited about Gary originally becoming the chair.
So
we all
excited.
saw that. I mean, go back and look at our content. When he was announced, it was like, oh my God, this is going to be incredible. This is his course. Go take the course.
And we give him the benefit of the doubt for a long time. Let him cook.
Oh my God, I know. We tried. I tried so
Sorry,
hard.
guys.
I've never been so disappointed with a public official. Honestly, I say that without being exaggerative at all. Like biggest swing. You know, like I'm not surprised when public officials don't act in our best interest, but he just what a 180 it felt like.
That's what corruption does to people. That's what woe damn it says.
I know. I truly, because I'm friends with someone who is very close to Elizabeth Warren personally, like on a family level. And she will tell you about Senator Warren that like it might not be like unbridled corruption, and it might just be grossly misguided representation, like someone who truly believes that they are a martyr for the cause, and that's scary. Honestly, that's terrifying, because that tells me like people who are corrupt, right, like they're at least aware, you know, whether they act maliciously or nefariously enough, they're like aware. But people who are like diehard true believers that they're right in the face of all evidence, in the face of any conflicting opinion, unwilling to intake new information in a position like that, is terrifying. Elizabeth Warren is another public official that I'm just like horrified with, and have been for years. Like just the methodologies and the approaches and the unwillingness to learn and all of these things. Because I asked this person, like, well, I would love to talk to them, you know, or talk to her, just because I really want to understand. And she's like, I think you'd be wasting your breath. And I say that as a friend, which is so sad. As a public representative, that's so sad. The people like that have no business in a representative government.
Amsfar asked, what do we think about a no trade or stocks for people in government bill? Probably a good idea.
It's insane that Congress is allowed to invest in the things that they regulate. They have direct insider information. It's insane to me that they're allowed to participate the way that they are.
Yeah.
That is
wild.
Oh my God, that's so broken.
Maybe if Elon buys C-SPAN, we'll get webcammed into all their internal meetings or something like that.
I don't trust him as at all.
Listen, man, me either. I'm digging him.
Jesus
By
Christ.
which I meant to.
We're replacing one pile of bullshit with a different flavor of bullshit and expecting it to be different. The thing that remains true is unbridled self-interest on both sides. So,
okay, listen.
I'm sure Nancy Pelosi agrees with me, but because she's a better investor than Warren Buffett, which is easy when you make the rules.
Yeah, when you make the rules, Monopoly is a fun game to play. Okay, so we are dogged and ponied. We're saddled up. We got to ride into the sunset. If you have not yet, the site is discord.gg/riseup. I have a pinned video at the top of my profile with step-by-step instructions for how to get there. It's totally free.
As do I.
As does he. And definitely do follow us, because we want you to be in touch with the real ones, not the imitators. We both have lots of impersonators. They will reach out to you. Hey, bro, how's your investment? All of it.
Yeah.
It's a scam.
We will never. Yep.
Ever.
Every single day, especially because we are particularly at a higher risk because our content is so specifically curated for beginners. Every single day now, for weeks in a row, without a single day being missed, I get at least 3 or 4 DMs from people who are like, hey, you stopped replying, or hey, did you, you sent me this thing on Telegram or hey, whatever. I do not have Telegram, period, that I use for anything. I don't give
Or
that
WhatsApp.
to anybody. Or WhatsApp. I will never DM you first. Neither will Evan. If
Yeah,
any
and the
of us,
only place we'll take you is Discord. So watch out for fakers in
Yes.
Discord too.
we literally have impersonators in Discord too, and they are smart about it. They block us so that we can't see them. They join the server on a proxy account that doesn't have the fake profile attached to it, and then they send user information out of the server to themselves, so we can't ban them or block them because we have no clue who they are. So we will never DM you. The only way any of us will ever get in touch with you is publicly in Discord in the general chat. We'll tag you and say that we need to talk to you if anything like that were to come up.
Yeah. And if you want to reach out to us, the best way to do it is in Discord or in the comments below any of our videos. We are honored by the amount of people who trust us to help with their questions, but don't send me a DM. Don't send Alex a DM. We get so many spammers. It's a terrible way to talk back and forth, and we care about helping you with your questions. Okay, we really want to help you. We have built
a comment or
infrastructure
join Discord
to make
Don't
it
DM.
easier. That's right. Don't DM us. And thank you for trusting us to help. If you're new, you didn't hear the answer to your question, don't worry. We're going to be here tomorrow and every Monday through Thursday at 7 a.m. We're in the Discord now, and we want to help you. We say rise up. So Alex, thank you, my friend, for being such a killer co-host. Thank you for tuning in and being the best part of what we do. And my friends, that's it. Until next time, stay
See you
safe.
bright and early.
Be well. And of course, everybody, rise up.
Bye-bye now.
Did I end the stream? I don't think I ended it. YouTube, are you still with me?
They are.
Oh, you got a bonus 3